Welcome to your reading for the most intense, luckiest day of July. This is for all 12 signs. As you can see, this video is a little bit shorter and more personal than usual, but I'll tell you why. I'll give you the reason and an important announcement from me in a moment. Because shall we honor this sky? A sky that we will never see again in our lifetime. I am going to break down what you can expect for your sign, not only the rare aspects today, July 29th, but the recent nodal shift, Saturn retrograde, etc., etc. But before you jump to your sign, a quick disclaimer. This is not a typical Leo season. You got Jupiter in Leo for the first time in 12 years, South Node in Leo, first time in 18 and a half years. Leo is passion and radiance, loyalty. You feel strong currents of energy, creative energy in your bloodstream. Leo is royalty, celebrities, fame. Leo is expressive, ruled by the sun. Leo is leadership, feeling proud. It's the spotlight and also the kingmaker. So when you do the math, yeah, you get to be bougie AF, but without ego or seeking validation because the South Node is in Leo. Also the ego. Remember, Jupiter is in Leo and Jupiter expands. So you do you. But from the heart, Leo rules the heart, authenticity. The South Node here in Leo is asking you to surrender, validation, recognition, praise. Just do authentic you. You are not here for the applause. 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 Put your hands up. Make them touch. Touch. Make it real loud. No. South Node in Leo is so important. I'm telling you now, and I am going to remind you again in your August forecast. Now, if you have a good memory, or if you were even alive, August to November 1990, that is the last time Jupiter and the South Node were in Leo together. In the July 2026 Reset of Civilization series I did, the part 3 video, I talked about what happened the last time just the South Node was in Leo, and that was 2008, 2009. But I want you to think about what happened for you the last time the Sun, Jupiter, South Node were all in Leo together, August to November 1990. In terms of what did you release? In terms of relinquishing your crown. Maybe literally. Because it was back then, within these months, Margaret Thatcher, she resigned. The day the South Node in Leo literally left. In November 1990, President George G.H.W., whatever his acronyms are, George Bush Sr., his famous campaign promise, read my lips, no new taxes. And then he signed a budget deal that raised taxes. In October 1990, he was not re-elected. And I kid you not, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Beverly Hills 90210, two shows that have to deal with high society, the elite. Remember, Leo is also like dramatic, the stage, the spotlight. Well, those shows premiered during this time frame where Jupiter, sure, brought the shows good fortune, expansion. The South Node in Leo showed us what will destroy us if we're obsessed with fame and status. And possibly the best example of South Node Jupiter in Leo at the same time is George Michael, who famously shed his sex symbol status. And he released the song Freedom 90 in October 1990. So back then, there were things called music videos. And in this one, he didn't even sing on camera. He hired all these supermodels to do that. And his famous leather jacket and guitar, yeah, they blew up in flames. South Node in Leo, fire sign. So all of that leans into the fact the North Node was in Aquarius, which is very independent and rebellious and speaks for the collective. Aquarius is humanity coming together, the future. Back then, Germany formally reunited as a federal republic just a year after the Berlin Wall came down, while Saturn was in Aries, by the way, March 1989. The World Wide Web, the internet, was proposed. The proposal came out while the North Node was in Aquarius. That laid the groundwork for the internet age. So now, 36 years later, the nodes of fate changing signs on this axis. Aquarius-Leo, opposite poles. Again, I actually talk about the polarity in the part 3 video. But this axis is where you will have karmic lessons, fated moments, opportunities regarding me versus we. Ego versus altruism and humility and selflessness, okay? These points in the sky, the dragon's head, dragon's tail, in Vedic astrology, over 3,000 years ago, Rahu Ketu. Well, Western astrology charted this for 2,000 years. So we adopted this compass of fate system because it's meaningful and it works. And again, I do talk a lot more about the South Node and the North Node in Aquarius-Leo in part 3. That video, I'll leave it at the end of this video in the description box. All right, so what happened the last time? We had the North Node in Aquarius, South Node in Leo, December 2007 to August 2009. What happened in your life? Think about what lessons you learned, the direction you went, because you're going to pick up the same patterns from this point forward until 2028. Now, today, July 29th, the day that I'm recording this video, we've got the most intense full moon of the year. The moon conjunct Pluto in Aquarius, 6 degrees. That sits directly opposite the sun conjunct Jupiter in Leo, the luckiest aspect of the year. And this has not happened since the year 1778, when we had Pluto in Aquarius and Jupiter in Leo. All right, so I said last week that Jupiter Cazimi, the sun conjunct Jupiter today, is on par with Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer that happened on June 9th when Jupiter was exalted. Well, Jupiter is now in Leo, where he's not exalted. However, the sun rules Leo in its domicile. So both of those aspects, today and the one on June 9th, yeah, they're both really strong. You're going to hear astrologers debate this. For me, the sun conjunct Jupiter, the Jupiter Cazimi, will always be the luckiest day, hands down. The sun is what literally gives us life. We would not even experience Venus conjunct Jupiter or astrology itself if there was no sun. That's how powerful it is. And the sun is optimism and vitality and opportunity. So today's Jupiter Cazimi is expansion in its purest form. All right, you've got the biggest benefic fused with the source of life itself. So what's going to happen? Jupiter is going to show you the door. Yeah. The sun in Leo is going to give you the courage to walk through it. All right. You throw in the full moon. Oh, you are truly leaving your old world behind for a new one. Okay. But the opposition, you've got the heaviest moon and the luckiest sun, the two luminaries in a staring contest, and they're in fixed signs. It's got to be a long staring contest. You got the masculine, you got the feminine. Again, we talk about polarities, and the part 3 video, you already get this. The full moon conjunct Pluto, again, rare. It's been 250 years. It doesn't just reveal, it transforms. And during the cradle reset configuration that just happened, that allows you to not just transform and evolve, but transcend. Well, you're here, okay? Today is a major death and rebirth moment. You've got to let something go. The full moon, Pluto, they're trying to tell you something. They're drudging something up, meaning you know what it is you have to confront, because the shadow side, the moon and Pluto, yeah, they're being illuminated by the luckiest light in the zodiac. So you have to see this as it's in your favor. Jupiter expands, the sun radiates, it brings extra light. You're being shown something buried deep inside you. Pluto, as you know, is forensic, that Scooby-Doo energy. It's very psychological too. It digs deep and exposes. So you will have to see something for what it is. Make the change or have the turning point you secretly know you have to make. And of course, we'll discuss this more in your forecast for all 12 signs. There are going to be mini forecasts with, yep, and the bonus spreads as well. But here's the thing. You're going to see how this day is part of my announcement, okay? So, before you go to your sign, remember, also, you feel the full moon's effects days before, days after. A lot of y'all have already been feeling this full moon and the Jupiter Kazemi. And a lot of y'all are going to continue to feel it. In fact, on July 31st, the moon, still in Aquarius, will actually conjunct the North Node in Aquarius, 29 degrees. That's going to happen around 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. But that critical degree point, all right? So that day is going to be like a floodlight. Truths are really coming to light for you to know what your mission is. Now, Jupiter and the sun, by the way, that conjunction, that you're still going to feel that by until the end of the month as well. Okay? Jupiter's only moving forward a degree or two. But this day, July 29th, don't forget Venus is square Mars as well. So you've got the two cosmic lovebirds not seeing eye to eye. Venus in Virgo is perfectionist, has high expectations, pays attention to every little thing. And Mars in Virgo is just unfiltered, unhinged, doesn't even want to hear it. All right? So, considering the fact that both Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury, communication, words, texts, DMs, getting the last word in, you could feel a little bit of a squeeze this day regarding your relationships or money, but also travel and health, siblings and work. A lot of your relationships, they will be tested. And that's love, marriage, business, any relationships, including your doctors, your vets, siblings, relatives, friendships. Considering these are two mutable signs as well, change is very likely on the day of the significant full moon, okay? So be willing to change or adapt or even compromise. And since Venus and Virgo, Mars and Gemini, right, both ruled by Mercury, try to avoid over analyzing or even saying things that can make you go viral. Now, don't forget Juno's here with a full moon conjunct Pluto. It's actually a triple conjunction. This full moon conjunct Juno is really going to make you test your relationships. Are they balanced? Is there justice? If not, well, there may be some endings. Yeah. The full moon. Or maybe some things will be brought to light. So the sequence would really be the moon illuminating, giving Pluto some light to dig deep for truths, bring them to the surface, whether secrets, whether it's you being honest with yourself, whatever it may be. Juno brings a little bit of reckoning with this trio to all your commitments and says, Brian, yeah, he's got to go. He's got to go. This isn't the right one for you. That's what Juno does, okay? And is a little bit more protective, a little bit more strict with Pluto and the moon in Aquarius. Juno, yeah? Jupiter's wife. Opposite Jupiter in Leo, who's with the sun. So your relationships are truly baked in to this full moon. And again, love, marriage, business partners, colleagues, friendships, your audience, etc., etc. And don't forget the backdrop. Uranus trine Pluto, Neptune sextile Pluto, Uranus sextile Neptune. We talked about this in the part 2 video. All right. So that mini grand trine, part of the cradle reset, is still exact at 4 degrees. The cradle, the outer planets with Jupiter at 4 degrees from the past 10 days. That was the peak. Remember, this is a reset, and those alignments, those aspects, they're still happening for the next few years. So again, consider them as like undercurrents overlapping the nodes in Aquarius and Leo until 2028, which means we have a lot of time to talk about this as you move into your brand new era, an era of transcendence that has never happened in human history, what we're experiencing right now. Okay? Now, if you're a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising sign or your moon, or for your husband, Brian, or your sister, or your favorite TV host, who doesn't matter, with a full moon conjunct Pluto and Jupiter conjunct the sun at 6 degrees, north node in Aquarius, south node in Leo, 29 degrees. Well, all the fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, you're going to feel this day the most, as well as the north node and south node in your family of fixed signs. If you know your natal chart, if you have any planets in any of those fixed signs between 4 to 8 degrees or 29 to 27 degrees, yep, well, those planets will be aspected. You will definitely feel the nodal shift, full moon, Jupiter Kazemi, etc., etc. That everyone is going to feel this now. Saturn retrograde. Yeah, that just happened until December. Okay? Saturn, the authority, the ancient ruler of Aquarius. Thus, Saturn ruled full moon. Okay? Conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. Oh, it's deep. It's deep. There's a lesson here for you. Saturn officially went retrograde in Aries, and again till the end of the year. So what does this mean? It means you are the author of your story. You've always been the author of your story. Saturn retrograde just says it is time to edit. It's time to reassess. It's time to rewrite the whole damn thing. So, do what you have to do. Jupiter in Leo. Oh, that's charisma. It makes you magnetic. You got the stage. And you create your reality. So, with Saturn retrograde in Aries, with the North Node in Aquarius, South Node in Leo, you don't need anyone's permission to write the next chapter in your story. You want to be a doctor? Go for it. You want to be a circus clown? Go make kids laugh. And old people. Redefine who you are for your new era. And even if it feels like it could be terrifying because you've got the stage, you've got the spotlight, you got eyes on you, you don't know how the crowd will react. Tomato, tomato. Well, that is the whole point. Saturn in Aries is identity work. Yeah? While the nodes are in Aquarius-Leo, that is the king versus the people. So, if you get booed. Who cares? Saturn is life lessons. Take the boos. Use them to learn and to grow on your karmic journey. Saturn is karma. Yeah? And then come back as the real, authentic you to receive applause that you don't need because you already know it's well deserved. When Violet moved from Jersey to New York to be a singer / songwriter, she was terrified. She was so nervous. But when she got on that bar in Coyote Ugly and she karaoke'd her heart out, she didn't do it out of ego or attention for her. She did it to have the rowdy crowd come together, and she found her voice. That is Saturn retrograde in Aries, North Node in Aquarius, South Node in Leo. Go do you authentically, all right? Anything that you launched or changed since February 2026, when Saturn moved into Aries, when we had the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries, 0 degrees, reset. And also the corresponding new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. Yeah. A lot that's happening right now is tied to what you did or who you were back in February. So refine it now. This is your story. And remember, he who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. Thank you, Confucius. And you can see that I wrote 6 to 12 month cycle. Well, the 6-month cycle ends now. Who do you want to be? Who have you become since February? The 12-month cycle would be the Jupiter Kazemi. That's a seed being planted, okay? For a whole year. All right? And I will tell you, we break it down week by week, sign by sign, actually. Now, the important announcement I have to make, I've been very transparent with you about everything that I've been experiencing the past year. If you know, you know. A lot of you have watched it happen in real time. Some of you have watched Ruby on this channel for years. You've seen her health unfortunately decline. You know about her ER visits, her muscle atrophy, the wheelchairs, how she can no longer walk, and the lack of sleep and the surgeries, my visits to the ER for 2 conditions, the 4 procedures I had the past 2 months, and the complications I've had from them as well. So even this device that I have to wear. Anyway, I actually showed on greatawakener.com, my site, a timeline of everything I experienced the past year, everything connecting to the astrology at the time, which includes everything. Again, if you know, you know. But a lot of y'all have seen me record your forecast at 3 in the morning, or when I've completely lost my voice like now. And even over the weekend, you saw the audio issues. And many of you know this has been a year-long process of audio issues. It's been a rumblefish. I don't even know if that's the right word, but despite everything that I experienced and went through, I kept showing up here. I made sure doing your videos, your forecasts, and guiding you as much as I can was a priority. So I hope that you can see the passion I have doing this. I did a community post where you'll see my chart of just the past few days with over 20 squares and oppositions, all converging right now. And some of these, like Pluto square my Chiron, Saturn opposite my Pluto, Mercury opposite my Mercury, among many others, coming right after a whole stretch of other aspects like Saturn and Neptune opposite my Moon, square my Jupiter, and as you know, Uranus on my ascendant. So all these aspects that are many months, even years long. And this week, just 3 days ago, you see the lunar nodes change signs. North node in Aquarius, okay? And as an Aquarius, I feel that the south node moving into Leo, 29 degrees. Remember, the nodes move backwards, okay? South node in Leo conjunct my natal Saturn. I feel that even more. These are the notes of fate. And I've always said sometimes events are out of your control. What matters is how you handle it. So, with all that said, under this full moon in Aquarius, conjunct my natal sun in Aquarius, and the south node already conjunct my Saturn for the next few months, I need to focus on my health. I have to redo those procedures. I have to return to physical therapy, and I have to spend more time with Ruby, who, you know, I will do everything for. Even holding her when she potties, which I have to do, and also recovering from like burnout. Yeah, I have to move to a lighter schedule. So I'll still be doing your forecast. I'll still give you the same depth, the same me, but a little less volume, because I have to follow doctor's orders. So thank you for listening. It was not easy for me to say that. And again, you will literally see it in the sky chart. This very powerful full moon in Aquarius conjunct my sun. But also, I've said it for you. Every one of you will also go through radical change. Okay? Radical change with this full moon that's trine Uranus in Gemini. Okay? Uranus is Aquarius' ruler. So, go through your radical change. All right? The change that you're seeking through this reset, because everyone has to go through this, including me. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for all your love and kindness, all your kind messages for Ruby. take this moment, this day, the next few days to dig deep, for you to say the thing, do the thing. Again, you're the author of your story. Let's get to your forecast. Thank you. Hello, Aries. Let's jump in. Listen, this is a big one for you. Wednesday, July 29th, a full moon in Aquarius, conjunct Pluto and Juno, opposite the sun, conjunct Jupiter in Leo. So something is ending. It's got weight. You might feel a little bit of pressure, especially with your future goals, your long-term hopes and dreams, as well as friendships, people that you connect with. There's so much here about community that might be on your mind. Do you belong? Do you not belong? What needs to change? What needs to shift? There is a serious tone to this full moon because it is conjunct Pluto that does rule your 8th house. There's a lot of relationship energy here. Romantic, intimate, but also there could be something here with business. I mean, you've got the sun conjunct Jupiter in Leo, that is your 5th, which is very entrepreneurial. So are you, right? With Saturn retrograde, you're probably going to reassess some things in terms of self-sufficiency. Maybe, what is the word? Autonomy. You get what I'm saying. But this is all part of your transformation. So whatever truths come to light, let them sink in hard, okay? Because there's money in the picture here for you as well. In fact, your 8th house rules other people's money, shared resources. It's, inheritance, investments, commissions, royalties, passive income. And then it's opposite Jupiter and the sun in Leo in your 5th. And we'll get to that. But just remember, there's going to be some things exposed. 2 things here. 1, it may be some friendships or groups that you belong to. And again, your relationships. There's definitely going to be something that comes to light, okay? And don't ignore it, all right? Remember, North Node in Aquarius is pushing you in the direction of, service to others, being human, community, friendship, your future goals, right? So there's a lot here. You just have to make some adjustments that you feel is necessary. Now, Jupiter, luck, expansion, abundance, in the heart of the sun in Leo, the sign of the heart. The Jupiter Kazemi is going to bring you good fortune, wisdom, expansion, but again, your 5th house of pleasure and joy and romance and children and sex, procreation. Congratulations, some of y'all having babies. But also creative projects is a really big theme for you. And there's something here that's going to be very eye-opening with the fact that Jupiter natively rules your 9th and your 12th, okay? 2 very spiritual houses. So I would not be surprised if you had some sort of spiritual awakening around this time regarding, everything I just said, okay? Remember, this is a year cycle, a new door opening. So this is both an ending with a full moon and a new beginning, a true death and rebirth. But remember, you can't have that rebirth part unless you have that death part. Something has got to end, and you've got to leave it in the old world, all right? You're going to be asked to go deep to find the joy. And remember, this also ties to the Great American Eclipse. We had August 12th, 21st, 2017 in Leo. I talked about it in the part 3 video. Now, Venus in Virgo, square Mars in Gemini, 21 degrees. Remember, both Mercury ruled. It's a square. This is a little bit, War of the Roses. It is kind of like a fuse box. Sparks will fly. Especially work. I would not be surprised if there was here with the way that you're communicating, or if someone's miscommunicating. Remember, the Mercury is still in shadow up until about August 6th. So keep that in mind. There could be some miscommunication. But this is a time where being verbal, right? As I explained in the intro, It's going to be very important. Remember, words are energy, so use this aspect. Don't let it use you. There's definitely going to be things that are brought to your attention regarding relationships. But again, it does seem more focused on colleagues, bosses, the workplace. The workplace, as well as health matters, pets, maybe, you're fighting over a pet, things like that. As well as, wouldn't be surprised if there was travel in the mix here for you. But the biggest thing of all is social media. Your 2 social media houses are lit up, all right? So be very mindful. Don't fall into the trap of trolls. I talked about trolls in my last live stream. That's a big thing. You're going to be seeing more of them, all right? Now, and the other thing is Virgo, sure, ruled by Mercury, but remember, Virgo rules the gut. Trust your intuition, but also there may be some digestive issues that may come up around this time. And then July 26th, we have the changing of the nodes and Saturn retrograde. We have a lot of time to talk about this. North Node in Aquarius is your mission statement, yeah, until your birthday season, March 26, 2028. The North Node's your purpose. It's how you contribute to the collective. And so your biggest mission statement will be that. How can you contribute? You're also going to see a lot of changes, new directions with friendships, community, people that you connect with, as well as your future hopes and wishes, long-term goals with the South Node in Leo. This is your karmic past, patterns, everything that I mentioned in the intro, ego, right? Lifeboat for one, all right? It's releasing the need to be the star, validation, etc., especially in your romantic relationships, creative projects, as well as all that 5th house activity, even hobbies, your volleyball team, things like that. So with Saturn retrograde, with Pluto and Neptune also retrograde. First, Saturn is in its fall in your sign. Saturn doesn't do well here. This is all about discipline and hard work. And so with you being, more of a younger sign, yeah, I mean, you represent the first breath, right? You're Aries. It's a good time to practice patience. Yeah? Anything that you put a lot of effort into, especially with career and being recognized and recognition, ask yourself now, is it worth it? Is it worth the reward? Does anything need to be tweaked? Does what I'm doing make me feel empowered? And with Saturn and Neptune and Pluto retrograde, this is you turning your power inward to discover what's real, what's fantasy or ideal, to reevaluate. You should be having a really big reality check soon. Don't ignore it, okay? Use it. Rebuild. Don't restart. Rebuild. Rewrite. Redo. Okay? So, we're going to do a 3-card spread. And for the week, let's see what's going on for you this week. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And the other thing is, don't forget, July 31st, the Moon conjunct the North Node in Aquarius at 29 degrees. There may be something that you really need to see that day. All right? Remember, there's something faded, illuminated, something within you. Even your nurturing side could come out. I would be surprised if you spend time meeting new people, new friend, or reuniting with a friend as well. Okay? So, Aries, let's see what we got for you. And by the way, I bit my tongue. So, Aries, let's, you're good. You're fine, okay? Oh, wow. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Page of Pentacles. So, you're ready. You're ready. You're gonna be in that mode. I want to take care. I want to take care of people. I want to take care of the people that I love. I want to be around the people I love. I want to build the perfect world for us. And the fact that it's a full moon in Aquarius, right? Remember, your friends, people within your life, it's still a full moon. And you know, the moon, right, rules Cancer. So a lot of home, family energy here as well. A lot of that nurturing side. But having the resources, thinking about the resources, thinking about the world that you want to build, well, you're about to have a lot of power. You're going to be able to create exactly what you want to create, the reality that you want. It's the Queen of Wands. She attracts whatever she wants. And she has a lot of passion. And if you are here for career, work, you just got the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, okay? Wands are your passions, life force energy. They have the spirit of fire, but they also represent work and career. And the Queen of Wands is you. Yeah? The Queen of Pentacles is Capricorn. Your 10th house. Career. Remember, Saturn, that's in your sign, natively rules your 10th house. Saturn being Capricorn's ruler, but also Aquarius's, right? Your future hopes and wishes, long-term goals, new community, as in could be even a new team that you're working with at work. And with that Page of Pentacles, oh yeah, you're ready. You're going to get what you want. And it looks like you're going to turn it into something that you're very serious about. You're ready for it to grow. Okay? Pentacles, sure, money, wealth, all of this. You got 3 quarts. You have a lot of power this week. And you can see a lot of blessings, a lot of luck. The sun, I don't know if you know this, is exalted in your sign, Aries. And you see the Queen of Wands holds the sunflower. Yeah? You see the sunflowers in her throne? These sunflowers appear in the actual sun card. Therefore, she has the powers of the sun. You are going to be magnetic. You're going to radiate. You're going to attract everything that you want. And look at what it brings. So, Page of Pentacles, again, if you're not here for money or wealth, which, again, what did I say? Your 5th house is lit up. Your 8th house is lit up. You're fine. You're good. Money, 8th house, shared resources. But either way, Pentacles can represent relationships, anything that you're moving into that feels new and fresh. You are the pioneer. Yeah? So this is you doing you, but really blessed. Last thing I'm going to tell you. If you want, you know, the Sun and Jupiter and Leo, your 5th. The 5th house is fun and pleasure, right? The 5th house would also rule like casinos and gambling. I'm not saying anything other than you've got the Sun with Jupiter, the planet of luck here, in your 5th house of casinos and gambling. Just putting it out there. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just saying it exists if you want to get a dollar scratch off ticket. Aries, y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye. Taurus, how are y'all doing? Let's jump right in. So July 29th, obviously, full moon in Aquarius, conjunct Pluto and Juno in Aquarius, opposite the sun, conjunct Jupiter and Leo. So we're just going to break this down. Just know something's ending, okay? It might have a little bit of weight. There may be some pressure that you feel. There's a serious tone to this, but it's all part of your transformation, and it's really going to have a big impact on career. And the way that you're perceived, even if you're not here for career, it's your reputation, that 10th house. And so this is a really big journey, okay? Because Pluto natively rules your 7th house. So this puts double the emphasis on relationships. And again, remember, it can be business relationships, it can be contracts, it can be agreements, it can be any of that. But it does look like something in terms of how people perceive you. I just would not be surprised if there were some adjustments and changes being made in the career space. Okay? Remember, truths are going to come to the surface. A lot of that can even be contracts themselves. Read everything carefully. Remember, Mercury is still in shadow. All right? And let these truths come to light. They're going to sink in really hard. Juno is going to help expose things, make things, bring justice to your contracts, agreements, work-related matters, love, marriage, relationships as well. Okay? Now, Jupiter in the heart of the sun, right? In Leo, the Jupiter Kazemi. Leo being the sign of the heart. That's going to bring you a lot of good fortune, a lot of wisdom, expansion in home and family. And so this is where you may feel that tug of war. What do you need to sacrifice? Yeah? Something's got to change for you to put a lot of more focus on home, family, or your emotional foundation, your emotional growth, real estate, things like that. Just know this is a cycle, a new synodic cycle. You've got a seed planted here. Jupiter expands the home space for you. All right? So this looks really great. And remember, Venus is in Virgo in your 5th. Let me see something. Yeah, I mean, Pluto's bringing in your 7th. Jupiter natively rules your 8th. Some of y'all are having babies. Congratulations. Some of y'all are getting married. Congratulations. Some of you are deepening your relationship in some way with, your 8th house of intimacy activated, and there's money all over the place for you. Wow. You have Venus in Virgo in your 5th, which is very entrepreneurial. But also, yeah, there's 5th house is like gambling, casinos. Remember, it's a house of pleasure and fun. So Venus is square Mars, though, so keep that in mind. Meaning, Mars being in Gemini, your 2nd house of income, salary. There's some conversation here that needs to be had regarding creativity, creative projects, creative directors, hobbies, as well as your romantic relationships, family, children, etc. It might be something where you feel tight with money, but at the same time, this is a very temporary aspect that's just asking you to have that conversation. And remember, words are energy. Yeah, words are energy. Keep that in mind. So this full moon, you're going to go deep to find the joy. And remember, it ties to the Great American Eclipse. We had August 21st, 2017. I talked about that in part 3 video. What else? I mean, yeah, Venus is your ruler. So being in Virgo, not the best place for your ruler. Just know Venus will move into Libra very soon. So remember, Venus rules both you and Libra. And that's when you're like, yeah. Okay, so North Node moving into your 10th house of career. South Node moving into your 4th house of home. You're going to have changes in both. A lot of focus on your career. North Node, your mission statement, right? Until March 26th. 2028. This is your purpose. This is the way you contribute to the collective. And a lot of that, again, if you don't see things now, you will later. All right. But a lot of changes with career. In fact, if you have any planets, like I said, in the 27, 29 degrees of Aquarius, or even your sign, remember, all fake signs, you're going to feel this right away. This 18-month story starts this week for you. Okay? Not gradual, like now. For about a month. South Node in Leo, again, karmic, past, release, ego, attention, lifeboat for one. We're releasing that energy, especially in the home family space. So, and then Saturn retrograde in Aries. Yeah, that's your 12th. It's also, a strange place for you. You're like, what? With Saturn Aries in your 12th house, which is, intuition, spirituality, which is really great. I've already said a lot of you are turning into spiritual leaders or, role models. But at the same time, Saturn rules your 9th. So double that energy. Some of y'all are looking into second marriages. Maybe that's something that you're asking yourself. Yeah. With Saturn retrograde, am I putting the work and discipline into one or into wanting one? But it's a good time, okay, to do the work. Is this worth, my time? Does anything here need tweaked? It could be a current relationship too. It doesn't have to be the second marriage exclusively, but it does look like there is some sort of awakening that you might have with Saturn retrograde in your 12th, Saturn natively ruling your 9th, and with Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto all retrograde. It's a good time to discover what's real. Remember, you're going to have some reality checks very soon. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes for you too. So don't ignore that. Remember, rebuild. Don't restart. Rebuild. Let's see. And we're going to do a 3-card spread. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising for this week. I bit my tongue, by the way. This helps. It hurts. A Taurus. Let's see. Y'all, come on. Stop. Yeah, there you go. There it is. All wands. Yeah. You got the 2, 8, and 10. Two wands. Did you know, Taurus? Did you know about your future forward? Did you reach a point where you've accomplished something and now you're just like, what's next? With all these changes that are happening, all this uncertainty in the air with Saturn and Neptune in Aries, your 12, your story, your identity. Is everything really nebulous? Do you know what's real for you moving forward? Take that time. Once you know, you'll know. And you're going to put wheels in motion, and the universe is going to make things go really fast for you. You see the 8 of Wands, all the ones aligning for you. It's great. There's a lot of enthusiasm here. This is saying something's about to land. However, be very mindful because you do have that 10 of Wands. So, 2 things here. A lot of y'all are moving into positions where your next steps, big life lessons. Okay? There could be something that is just going to take a lot of energy out of you, but you keep persisting. The other thing is, some of you will recognize that whatever you put in motion and things just kind of happen fast, you might have to rethink with Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto retrograde. So again, you don't have to restart anything, just rebuild, review. Okay? Your reality. Because that's a lot of burden. That's a lot of burnout, that 10 of Wands. And it's come to a point where it's asking, is this what you want? Are you putting a lot of energy into something that you know is something you truly want? If so, great. But don't carry the burden of everyone else's responsibilities while you're at it. The second thing is, if you keep pushing towards something, trying to force something to happen, you might have to think about your expectations. Okay? Look at that, 8 of Wands and then 10 of Wands. And again, I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. I'm just saying you might reach a point where you will have to rethink, reassess. Okay? And then you'll be absolutely great. So, and it speaks to everything that's happening. A Wands highly associated with career and work and enterprise. So, looking at what's happening for you, you have a lot of, you need to, it's a good time to kind of like clear the air, sage the home with this South Node in your 4th. Remember, we will have a new moon solar eclipse in Leo in your 4th. There's about to be something really big that happens in home, family, real estate matters as well, and your emotional growth, your emotional, foundations, whatnot. So, Taurus, very exciting, but don't be hard on yourself, okay? And the one last thing I'll tell you, when you've got Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde in your 12th, wow. The fact that these are Sagittarius cards. Yep. Mercury in Sag. Saturn in Sag. Sagittarius rules your 8th house of relationships. 8th house is death and rebirth. There's going to be some transformation, but also it's inheritance, investments, building your wealth, other people's money, resources. There could be something here. Okay? Don't carry the burden of everybody. The last thing I was going to say, Saturn, Neptune, both retrograde in your 12th, up here. Yeah, very spiritual. Up here, right? Pineal gland. The 12th house has no borders. Remember, Saturn doesn't do well in Aries. The Neptune is at home in the 12th. So, if there's any, what's the word I'm looking for? If there's any boundaries, right, you need to make them now. Taurus, you're amazing. I'll see you next week, whenever. All right, Taurus, you crack me up. Stop it. Bye-bye. Hello, Gemini. Let's jump right in. Wednesday, July 29th. As you know, we have the full moon, conjunct Pluto, conjunct Juno in Aquarius, opposite the sun, conjunct Jupiter and Leo. What a day. What a day. Something's ending, okay? It might have enormous weight and pressure. There's a serious tone to this full moon, but remember, it's part of your transformation. And for a lot of y'all, it's going to be very spiritual. It's going to be the way that you see things. It's going to be your world view. It's going to be travel. Travel for a lot of y'all. You're likely coming back from a trip. Maybe you decide you need a trip. But also publishing. No, you're writing a book. You're Geminis. It could be something really big because the Aquarius-Leo axis is your 3rd and your 9th, okay? You rule the 3rd. You are the writers. You're the creative minds, right? The 9th house is publishing. And so you're set up. You want to write a book. You want to start a blog. Do those still exist? I don't know. There's some publishing here. Maybe a podcast. Whatever truth comes to light, go with it. Okay? Let it sink in hard. Change is the only constant, and you're about to have some enormous change, especially with the workplace as well, with the fact that Pluto natively rules your 6 with this full moon. So, what does that mean? You're gonna see things in different ways. It could be as big as like, I'm leaving my job to start my own thing, or I'm leaving my own thing to start, working with others at Macy's, whatever it is, right? Sixth house is, your daily routines and health as well. There could be something illuminated in terms of your health here. It is a Saturn ruled full moon. Saturn is like old bones, so there could be like dental work or things like that. But you are being pushed in the direction of, or you're moving in the direction of like service to others, being human, community, friendship, your future goals. Jupiter, Kazimi, right? In the heart of the sun, and Leo, the sign of the heart. This is going to bring good fortune, wisdom, expansion to your third house, your home, for an entire year. Communication, PR, advertising, marketing, writing, travel. Your two travel houses are very lit up. Could be short distance travel. A lot of energy around neighbors, as well as siblings, aunts, uncle, cousins. They could also be receiving a lot of luck. You could see a lot of growth within them becoming wiser. But this is truly like a really big new door opening for you. Third house is the internet. It's launching things. Go for it. Go for it. Selling things. True death and rebirth here. Yeah. I'd go deep. Go deep. Go deep to find the joy, right? Remember, this ties to the Great American Eclipse, August 21st, 2017 as well, in Leo. Okay? Talk about it. What was it? Your part 3 video, all right? If you want to check it out. Now, you've got Venus and Virgo square Mars in your sign. Obviously, you're going to be highly impacted by this. Remember, both signs, y'all share Mercury. So this will be a little bit of, a fuse box. Sparks could fly when it comes to home and family and relationships. Significant other, real estate, property matters. Keep that in mind. Words are energy. This includes, text and DMs as well. So use this aspect. Don't let it use you, but there might be something here very surprising. I mean, even the fact that you've got Uranus in your sign, something that comes out of the blue, unexpected. You never saw it coming. And again, a lot of it will be in the home and family sector, but I still would not be surprised if there's something that you got to say what you got to say. Just let your, relationship dynamics play out. July 26th, changing of the nodes, right? North node Aquarius, South node in Leo. So again, with a full moon, I mean, the same theme. Yeah, but this is now your mission statement till March 26th, 2028. Your purpose, your contribution to the collective, it's your spiritual growth on your karmic path, your karmic journey, your 9th house, publishing, broadcasting. 9th house is higher mind. It's your philosophies. It's teaching. It's also the law. Okay? There could be some legal matters that are happening. It looks like some of y'all are going to have second marriages too. Now, the South Node in Leo, again, your third, your karmic past. What are you releasing? Yeah? Ego, needing attention, lifeboat for one. Releasing the need to be like a star. All of that energy, that's your third. So, again, this is your house. Think of it as like spring cleaning, but for a year and a half. Okay? What has to go? Is it the way that you communicate? Is it your relationship with a sibling that you haven't spoken to because there's something in the air where y'all are just not getting along? What has to go? Okay? For you to be the best version of yourself. And again, there really may be some travel, publishing, as well as teaching, learning, part of this. journey for you. But again, we have a year and a half to talk about it. Saturn retrograde, all about discipline, hard work in your 11th house. This is the biggest thing for you. You love connecting with others, yeah? You've got the South Node in your 3rd, which is connecting with others. So there, it just looks like you're spending a little bit less time. Maybe, the small things. You're moving on to bigger things with Saturn and Aries in the 11th. But it might be, cutting you off from the rest of the world in some way, making things hard for you, but for you to, again, very, Karate Kid, right? Wax on, wax off, that Saturn. He just doesn't do well in Aries. So, since February, what have you put a lot of effort into when it comes to your future goals and hopes and dreams, as well as your friendships and your relationships and business partners? Saturn natively rules your 8th of transformation, death and rebirth, but also intimacy and building your relationships, building your wealth. What makes you feel empowered? Now with Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto all retrograde, you're going inward to discover what's real. What do I want? What's fantasy? You're going to re-evaluate. You should be having a really big reality check soon about your groups, communities, friends, and your future goals. All right? Don't ignore it. Use it. Rebuild. Don't restart. Rebuild. All right? Let's see what's going on for you. We're going to do a 3-card spread. I bit the back of my tongue, by the way. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Oh. Okay. Gemini, yeah. You're fine. Don't be afraid to go within, though. Okay? Especially regarding your relationships, partnerships, significant other. You have to face those truths. This moment will pass. The full moon in Aquarius, as you know. You feel it. You're going to feel it. You hold everything in. Then it's just there. Okay? And it's going to come out in ways you didn't want. Use this full moon. Alright? With that 2 of Swords. This is being honest with yourself. Admitting something to yourself. Alright? That 9 of Wands. You can set yourself free. Yeah. Just don't give up. Whatever this is, it might not be easy for you. In fact, it might not be. It might be you, fighting for something. This fighting chance that something could work. You said your piece, and now you're just kind of like hanging in there. When it comes to relationships, partnerships, even work, colleagues, contracts, contractors, things like that, they're all part of this. But at the end of the day, hang in there and be your authentic self. On that Page of Wands, you got something really nice coming through. Wands, highly associated with work, career, enterprise, things like that. So, pages are messengers too. I wouldn't be surprised if you receive a message with the Sun conjunct Jupiter in your 3rd house of messages, right? And so I really love that. But the Page of Wands is also you just being so inspired to begin this fresh new start with work and career, whatever it may be. It's all because you believed in yourself. You held in there. You wouldn't let anyone take away your power. Now, the other thing, though, is, are you holding on to something that you know you need to let go? Okay, that's a question for you to ask yourself when it comes to work, career, your passions. All right? Once you recognize that, you still go down the same path, right? So every Gemini is different. You're going to have different moments, but you're good. You're good. And I will see you next week. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you. Hello, Cancer. Let's dive right in. You are one of the signs that are up there in terms of having a really big change in your life, because North Node in your 8th, South Node in your 2nd. These are the 2 money houses in the zodiac wheel. So this full moon, first of all, that's in Aquarius, where the North Node is, that's conjunct Pluto and conjunct Juno. This is your 8th house. The 8th house is death and rebirth. So when I said earlier that this is a true death and rebirth moment, like, yeah, especially for you. And this is also your, house of, shared resources, shared money. It's also intimacy, your relationships. I mean, this is deep. Pluto goes really deep. And Juno is all about justice, equality in relationships, partnerships, contracts, commitments. So for this full moon, it looks like there's something ending here. And also like a financial or, intimate power dynamic with Pluto involved. For a lot of y'all, it will be related to love and romance. Pluto natively rules your 5th house. That said, it could even be like a creative partner too, creative project that you're working on. But just know that there might be something here that might be renegotiated, especially around money and trust and control, to be honest. But it is your 8th house. All right. So the 8th house is also, not only like death and rebirth, transformation, it's inheritance, it's investments, royalties, commissions. This could also be like karmic debt with a North Node here. I wouldn't be surprised if you spend a lot more time, investing time and energy into like the metaphysical, divination, like tarot, even like Kundalini. And then you've got the Jupiter Kazemi in your 2nd house of your money, your values, self-worth, self-value. But this is, 2nd house is like your earning potential. And remember, you have Jupiter here all year for an entire year. So Jupiter, that brings wealth and abundance, like, you're good. You're fine. If you are here for money, if you're not, 2nd house is like material possessions as well. But it does look like relationships are at the forefront for you. And then it really is, with the South Node here, again, for you, it really is just like being hard on yourself, with especially that 2nd house of self-worth, self-value, really being honest with yourself about money and finances. It looks like the way that you think about money, finances, your earning potential, your salary, a lot of that's going to change. Okay. You might be moving into careers where you feel like you're making a difference, like something matters. This is for the collective. And as you know, your career house is so active when you've got Saturn and Neptune there in Aries that rules your 10th house of career. Jupiter is going to really expand. Jupiter natively rules your 9th and your 6th, by the way. 6th houses also work. Contractors, contracts, things like that. Okay, so basically this is all about knowing your worth, not only this full moon, but also with a North Node here. Okay. The other thing is, it's a good time to stop undervaluing yourself or under pricing yourself. Like if there was a job, if you're looking for jobs, like a job listing, and you're like, oh, I'm perfect for that, but it's so out of my league, or oh my gosh, no one would pay me this much. That's what you're letting go. Okay? And then you've got Saturn retrograde. Saturn is in his fall in Aries. He doesn't do well here, but c'est la vie. It is your 10th house, so he's making you put in the work. But remember, Saturn's also the authority, and you grow with Saturn. You also get life lessons. So it looks like a lot of you are getting promotions or starting your own thing or becoming, C-suite. So it's a good time to ask yourself anything that you started back in February. Is it worth it? Do you feel that it's worth it? If it is, great. Keep going. If you don't feel it's worth it, stop now. You're one of the most intuitive signs. You have to trust your gut, okay? Because it's not just Saturn. It's Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto that are retrograde. So you are going inward. Your power's inward. And you've got to discover what's real. And you will be getting a really big reality check soon, especially when it comes to your career. There looks like there's something here with relationships and partnerships as well, like business partners, colleagues. Sure, it does look like there's something here that you may be starting with your partner. Maybe you and your husband or wife start a business together, or you can get recognized for something. Anyway, you're going through a very transformative time, and with Saturn retrograde, please use it. All right, really redefine who you are and what you want. All right, let's see what's going on for you. We're just gonna do a 3-card spread. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Cancer. By the way, yeah, we'll talk about it next month. But Mars is moving in your sign. Why is this such a big deal? Well, you're going to have to look back to 2024, like November-ish, to 2025, February, March-ish, and around April, May 2023. Those are the last times Mars was in your sign. You're going to see the big difference. Those months stand out more than others. You're about to have Mars in your sign again. Okay? Just letting you know. Just let you know. All right, let's see. You don't even need you're good. You're good. First sign to get all major arcana. Okay. Wow. Yeah, so you got the Lovers. As I said, relationships, partnerships, big theme for you right now. Okay, Saturn natively rules your 7th. You just had the North Node move into Aquarius, so it rules your 8th. With this full moon conjunct Pluto, that rules your 5th. Remember, Pluto's in Aquarius for 19 years. So, a lot of y'all are moving into new partnerships, relationships, if you haven't already. But it looks like the ones that you have, there's changes happening with these relationships, as I said earlier. So, keep that in mind. You have to know what you want, though, okay? You have to know what you want. This is in progress, the change. You get to direct which direction. And then you got the Hermit, too. So, something here is making you wiser. Something here is going to give you some... it looks like something's going to give you a little bit of a pause as well. Use it. Use it. Remember what I just said. Saturn and Neptune and Pluto, all retrograde. You're going within. Okay? The Hermit. And to become wiser. It looks like for a lot of y'all, it's going to be the way that you communicate. Okay? The way that you think about things. Remember, Venus is in Virgo. Will square Mars, by the way. that's, that's fine. It just feels like there's a little bit of an awakening for you during this full moon with Venus square Mars when it comes to your relationships. Because when you got Venus from Virgo, that is your third house. That would be the physical mind. Yeah. When you've got Mars in Gemini, your 12th house, higher mind. And then remember, you also have the moon actually will be moving into Pisces July 31st, the same day that the moon will conjunct the North Node. Okay, so after that, the moon will move into Pisces, trine your sign, really great, your 9th house. There's something here where you're going to have this spiritual enlightenment, awakening, but also very likely something might be signed with your 9th, your 7th, and your 3rd activated. You're good. You're good. So remember, rebuild anything that you need to rebuild. It looks like you're going to do it anyway, especially when it comes to relationships. Or again, if you're single or is seeking one, it's the way that you're seeing one. Someone's coming through as well for many of you. If you're here for business and work, you're going to be fine. Anyway, Cancer, y'all are amazing. Thanks so much. I will see you very soon. Bye-bye. Hello, Leo. Let's dive right in. You, happy birthday, first of all. I hope you're having a really great birthday season. It is a great time to be a Leo. You're going through one of the most unforgettable birthday seasons ever. And wow, this is going to be big. So, not only are you going through your birthday season, you have Jupiter in your sign for the first time, right, in 12 years. It's going to be here until July 2027. And then also the North Node in Aquarius, South Node in your sign. So what does that even mean? All of that together. Well, Aquarius is your opposite sign. And we have a full moon in Aquarius conjunct Pluto. So, and Juno. So this is bonkers for you because that's your 7th house. Love, marriage, partnerships, relationships, business partners, personal relationships, contracts, agreements, your commitments, right? There's something ending here. There's something ending. There's a lot of energy around things coming to the surface. Yeah. Things being exposed, especially the balance of power. So, with your relationships, marriage, etc., there could be some talks. There could be some, renegotiations. There could be the need for balance, or you are out the building. Okay? It could be the other way around as well. So be very mindful because you do have Jupiter and the Sun in your sign and the South Node. Now, here's the thing. Pluto natively rules your 4th. So this doubles down on marriage if you're here for marriage. Okay? Or your relationship with, mother or, grandmother or female figure, authority figure. There could be some energy around it. At the same time, while you're having this exit strategy or turning point, you've got the luckiest day of the year in your sign. So this is all about you. This is you and your identity and your body and your, presence. This is a big fresh start for you. And remember, it is a cycle. It's a new synodic cycle. So even if you don't see anything kind of like manifest today, oh, you will. You will plant the seeds. You're being lit from inside. But here's the thing, all right? With the North Node in Aquarius and the South Node in your sign until 2028, South Node is asking you release that me first energy. I'm not saying that you're that type of Leo. That's just what the astrology is. As I said, Leo, you know, rules like the heart, but Leo's associated with ego, royalty. You've got the North Node in your 7th house of partnerships, love, marriage, relationships. So this is actually for the next year and a half until March 2028. It's you're gonna shine, but you're meant to shine with someone, okay? As a duo with a North Node in your 7th house. It can be love, it can be a business partner, colleague, personal relationship, but you are going to go through some really major dramatic change with you in your identity and how you see partnerships, relationships. A lot of you are looking at homes, by the way. It looks like there might be something here with real estate. But yeah, the universe is going to ask you to share the stage. You have a lot of emphasis on that 7th house, even with just Pluto being there. Yeah. So just continue to be your radiant self and consider this day with the full moon like a rebirth. Yeah. But you've also got Saturn retrograde in your 9th house. But Saturn natively rules your 6th. So this is also saying, you know, there could be something here regarding work, how you see things, your philosophies. Are you in the, you know, job that you want? Anything that you've been thinking about or that crossed your mind back in February. Do you want to continue to move forward? Is it worth the, you know, hard work, the self-discipline? But here's the thing. It's not just Saturn. You have Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto all retrograde. Like, you're really going to go within. And it is your 9th house. So, two things. A, there could be something very spiritual. It could be you wanting to lead in some way that's very spiritual, meaningful. I want to do this for my partner, for the collective. It might be tied to your daily routines, health matters. You might become a doctor. Capricorn rules your 6th, okay? So, and I say that because it's Saturn, right? Capricorn's ruler. But Saturn also rules Aquarius, right? So, there's a mix of work, employees, interns, contractors, even contracts. And with all of those planets retrograde, even with Uranus going retrograde, that'll be all the outer planets when we get to September. Really reevaluate the direction you want to go. And again, you're moving into this stage of enlightenment, but with Saturn there, it takes a little bit of that edge away when he's retrograde. Use this moment. There may be some legal matters, by the way, that will come up, especially work, contracts, agreements, but also maybe even a second marriage with your 9th activated, publishing as well. Saturn's going to give you that discipline, and you're likely going to have a reality check very soon. All right? And when I say reality check, it could definitely be like everything that you discover about yourself while Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto are retrograde. And it does include like a relationship that you're in or want to be in. Again, it can be love and marriage. It can be business. Now, let's see what's going on. We're going to do a 3-card spread. Riri says hi. Riri says hi. She wanted to say happy birthday, Leo. Okay. Woo! There we go. I'm going to take a look at those cards. The other thing, don't forget, you have a solar eclipse in your sign in August. Like, this is not, you're still going. You're still going. There's a lot. Can I put you down? There's a lot that you will be going through. Leo. What story does the universe have for you? Yeah. How is this even possible? What is happening here? Okay. Yeah, we'll look. I just want to see something. All right, Leo. This is for this week. Remember, even the full moon, even though it's happening today, Jupiter conjunct, the sun today in your sign, you're gonna feel it the next 2 days. You're gonna really feel it. Yeah, the 4 cups. That's fine. It's just saying you haven't been getting what you want, or the things that you have, you're just like, I need to shake things up. I need something else. There could be a relationship that you're in. There's something feels off, missing. You don't feel fully satisfied. We're going to work on that, okay? Because you have the Knight of Pentacles, all right? You work on that, raising your frequency, having gratitude, having the conversations you need to have. Wow. You're going to be good. The Knight of Pentacles, this is someone who is very, disciplined, very determined. And he's just going to keep trotting along at his own pace because he's in it for the long term. So there's something here. Once we have that moment under this full moon, there you go. Okay? Building something, building towards something as well. It can be a relationship, business, work, career. Well, it looks more like career and money, but and saving up as well. But that's really great because look at that. You put in the work, you stay disciplined, your wish comes true with that 9 of Cups. Yeah. This is go. Look, you're going from the 4 Cups to the 9, and all it took was that. I know what I want. Going for it, stabilizing this job, this career, this relationship, whatever it is for you. Staying committed brings you what you were lacking before. And just to show you the cards that popped out, Death, the Hermit, the Tower, the Lovers, 5 of Swords. So, your life is changing. There's gonna be maybe some unexpected moments. You're gonna go within relationships at the forefront. We know that, right? For a whole year and a half. Okay? With Venus square Mars, you want to be very mindful of the conversations that you have and the way that you communicate. And remember, the whole point of the South Node in Leo. Did I just say Lego? I'm going to start. Yeah, maybe I won't. I meant South Node in Leo, ego. All right? And you'll be fine. You got a lot here. You have a lot here. Just expect change. That's all it is. But also, don't provoke. Don't poke the bear. But also, don't be reactive. Be responsive. Leo, you're good. Happy birthday. I'll see you very soon. Okay, bye-bye. Hello, Virgo. let's jump right in. Virgo, listen, nodes, yeah, North Node and Aquarius, South Node and Pisces, Leo. That's your 6 and your 12. And so there's got to be a lot of focus in your daily routines, as in expect change, okay? North Node here is, your mission statement. It is you moving forward. It's your life ahead, your direction ahead, your purpose. So it just means something's not working and something needs to change. Not only your daily routines, 6th house is also work. 6th house is your house. And so you have to think about the fact that not only the North Node here, the Pluto's here for the next 19 years. And we have a full moon this week. So what is it that needs to change? What is it that needs a little bit of a radical shift, especially when it comes to work? And a lot of it's going to be hospitality, health as well, okay? Not only your health, your physical health, your digestive system, even like food could be a thing here as well, but work, power dynamics in work, yeah, something may surface with the full moon. Conjunct Pluto, conjunct Juno in Aquarius, meaning there's a work partnership or, relationship, contractor, boss, colleague, where something might have to be looked at, yeah. Also, health, okay? Here's the thing. You've got the South Node in your 12th house, which is the house of like rest and retreat, secrets, even hidden matters, but it's very spiritual. So what's happening is that there is a lot of things that would be happening behind the scenes for you. You're also tapping into that frequency of like the unseen. 12th house is not only very spiritual, 12th house is also like intuition. So that's where all your blessings are at, with Jupiter conjunct the sun. Okay? Your 12th house. There's very likely with this full moon, some of y'all are changing jobs. Some of you are changing careers. Some of you are like officially thinking about habits or patterns that you're just like, no more. Okay? And you might be very vocal about this. You might be signing a new contract. You might be having a very important conversation. Pluto natively rules your 3rd. You may travel. I would not be surprised if you travel, actually. It could even be short distance. That's fine. The other thing is, as you know, Venus is in your sign. Have you been taking advantage of that? Venus, love, money, creativity in your sign will square Mars in Gemini today as well. So there's really something that needs to be done with work and career. There's something that needs to be said. Gemini rules your 10th house of career, your reputation, honors, achievements. And again, if you're not here for a career, just something here where you need to get a little bit of visibility. And again, it can be work, it can be health. Yeah. So listen to your body. You just had this South Node in your sign, and the North Node in Pisces. You had a lot of focus on relationships and partnerships, but you in Pisces, your axis is the health axis. So you're continuing that journey. All right? So full moon conjunct Pluto, conjunct Juno in Aquarius in your 6th. There may be something here, relationship, partnership, where something's brought to light, as well as siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors, but also doctors, also nurses, also vets, personal trainers. It is your 6th house. So something here, there may be something ending, a conversation you need to have, something that you see within you. You're like, I've got to change this. Yeah. Go for it. Go for it. Remember, North Node is here until March 2028. So even when this full moon's over, you still have a lot of activity here until March 2028. Now, we covered everything. Oh, Saturn. Yeah, Saturn retrograde. This is probably the biggest thing for you, actually. I'm going to tell you something else, too. Anyway, Saturn retrograde. Saturn in Aries, right? Saturn's actually in its fall, and Aries doesn't do well there. You kind of have to, like, work through that energy. It is your 8th house. So when I said this full moon, this day in general, even this week, is a big signature of death and rebirth and transformation. You literally have Saturn in Aries in your 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration, transformation, but also money and your relationships. So intimacy, relationships, business partners, love, doesn't matter. There's something here. Saturn's asking you, go within. All the work that you've been putting into this, inheritance, investments, royalties, commissions as well. Since February. Are you seeing the payoff? Are things a lot more clear now? Does anything need to be tweaked? Is this the transformation you want? So, does this make you feel empowered? Now, with Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto all retrograde, you will be going inward. This is very psychological for you. 8th house is so deep. So discover what's real, what's fantasy. Don't be afraid. I talked about shadow work earlier. This is true shadow work for you. Okay? Saturn's really going to make you look at things. And there really also may be something here with your significant other. There could be something hard that you're going through. There could be some challenge. You could feel a little bit of pressure. You're going to have a reality check very, very soon with all these planets retrograde, especially Neptune and some aspects coming out. So use this moment to identify what needs changed, if it needs changed, and rebuild. Don't restart. So let's see. Virgo, we're going to do, a 3-card spread. Oh, the thing I was going to tell you, you're still under the window of the new moon solar eclipse that happened in your sign last September. Okay, I think it was the 20th. And you have a new moon in your sign when we get to September that I really, really love. And remember, August, that's eclipse season. There really is going to be some change with a relationship for you with that lunar eclipse in Pisces in your 7th house. Relationships, partnerships, love, marriage, your commitments, personal relationships, even contracts and agreements. So let's just see what's going on. Oh, you had oh my gosh, stop it. Knight of Wands. A little bonus card. All right, let's see. And you probably see a lot more clearly now that Mercury is no longer retrograde, being your ruler, but Mercury is in shadow, and I have to grab my dog. All right. Okay. You're good. You're good. And Ruby, fellow Virgo, says hi. Anyway. You remember Dave Coulier from Full House? Cut it out. Anyway. Five of Swords, yeah. Remember, you're coming out of a period that could have been very stressful. When Mercury's retrograde during a cradle reset while the nodes of fate are changing, that's a lot. So don't push people away. Don't be defensive. Don't, you're going to be fine. It feels like for some of y'all it already happened. So it's fine. You can still take this time with all these retrogrades to repair if you need to. Okay. But look, Ace of Wands. Even though maybe there was some air cleared, maybe it wasn't the best way for some of y'all. And this has to do with your mindset as well. So if you drop those swords, if you weren't being distracted, look at that, Ace of Wands. Okay. Drop the swords. Don't overthink, overanalyze. Drop the swords. Ace of Wands. Amazing. You're going to be fine. You're good. You're great. You've got a new opportunity. You have this new beginning. Remember, the Jupiter Cazimi is planting a seed for an entire year. It's a new synodic cycle. You're fine. You're good. And you're going to see new things come through. You're going to be moving into a new direction. Again, for a lot of y'all, it's going to be career, work, jobs, highly associated with wands. Wands have the spirit of fire, your passions. So it even could be like a relationship. It could even be a baby. Some of y'all might have babies. You do have Saturn and Aries. Saturn natively rules your fifth house, so like procreation. And that's the other thing. It's like you're going through a highly karmic period of like your like sexual journey. Yeah, it's in your eighth. Eighth is like very intimate. Eighth house is sex. Fifth house is sex, but procreation like is very different. Anyway, that's got to be for like 2 years. Now, and yeah, so you're good. You're fine. It looks like there's something here that's putting you in a place where you don't have to worry about money. And here's the thing, even if you've got it all, right? You got a new job, new career, you started your own business, you got a promotion, whatever it is. You've got the resources now to take care of others, take care of the people that you want in your world, and seeing that world grow. Okay? New world, new era. That Knight of Wands that popped out saying, you're not stopping. Boom, ba boom, ba boom. You're going after your passions. You're on a mission. Nothing's going to slow you down. So Virgo, you're amazing. I'm just saying if there's anything else. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Sorry, I bit my tongue earlier in the back. I'm chewing gum so I can. This is getting dry. Anyway, what am I? So the Jupiter Cazimi, while you may have Jupiter in Leo in your 12th house for an entire year, the 12th house, you can't really see anything there. It's very nebulous. Yeah, it's everything beyond the physical plane. It's like hidden matters, as I mentioned earlier, intuition, etc. Well, Jupiter actually natively rules your 4th house and your 7th. So that North Node in Pisces story that had to do with your relationships and partnerships, well, now you have luck there for an entire year. Okay? And the same thing with your 4th house of home and family. A lot of blessings there and the home space, but either way, you're good. All right. Virgo, y'all are amazing. I will see you next week. Bye-bye. Hello, Libra. Let's jump right in. You are what is happening here? You've got the North Node in your 5th, Aquarius, South Node in your 11th. Wow. This is going to be a pretty big time for you. In fact, with a full moon, conjunct Pluto, conjunct your asteroid Juno in Aquarius. Oh, that's pretty big. That's significant. That's your 5th house of true love and your, friendships, your groups, the collective, your future, romance, family, children, procreation, having babies. Big time for you. Okay. So, something's going to surface in this area of your life, even creativity, creative projects. Remember, this is your 5th house. It's Leo's home. And so you kind of have a lot of that Leonine energy with not only the nodes of fate moving into Aquarius-Leo, but with this full moon opposite the Jupiter Cazimi in Leo. So, wow. And Leo rules your 11th, which is Aquarius's home. And so the best thing for you to do, well, it's more like this knowing, right? The nodes of fate for the next year and a half until March 2028, your life lessons, your karmic journey, your destined journey moving forward, your mission statement, it really is all about family and self-expression and true love and what brings you pleasure and hobbies. I wouldn't be surprised if you start a new hobby. Maybe you invent a new game or something. At the same time with the South Node in Leo in your 11th house, it's two things here. There are just got to be some friendships that are, just kind of reach their expiration date. The second thing is, it is your 11th house groups. And so, come here, baby. All right. And so, Ruby wants to say hi. And so, that's not losing yourself. Yeah? Not losing yourself in the groups. Okay? And, finding the joy in the people that you connect with, and the dreams that you have for yourself for your future. There's so much artistic energy here as well, and entrepreneurial energy as well. Okay? With Pluto ruling your 2nd house, that can bring in a lot of the things that bring you, pleasure and joy. You can monetize, you can make money. 2nd house is money and finances, your earning potential, but love and marriage, really big highlight. Okay, so that's the North Node, South Node. And again, we have a lot of time to talk about this. Now, the Jupiter Cazimi that's happening in your 11th house of your future hopes and long-term goals and dreams. Come on. Creativity, romance. This is amazing. It is your, 11th house. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a new friendship. Remember, it's a seed being planted. It's a new synodic cycle. So there could be a new friendship, a group that you join as well. There could be something here with social media. I wouldn't be surprised if something goes viral. I mean, Jupiter is luck. And the last thing I will say is that because you've got this bonkers, what is happening? The 5th house is also remember, it's hobbies, it's recreation, which includes casinos and gambling, right? So it is the luckiest aspect of the year. I'm just letting you know. That is your 11th house, but also your 5th house is here, your 2nd house. A dollar scratch off doesn't hurt. But I'm not telling you to go forth with that. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. All right. So Venus square Mars Here's the thing. This is going to be more you spiritually, right? There may be something sneaky happening behind the scenes that your spidey senses, are on blast, if people still say that. Like your antennas are up. Just keep that in mind. There might be something here. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something here where there's like a debate or not seeing eye to eye about travel, or with the fact that you have Venus in Virgo. Venus, your ruler, right? By the way, Venus will be moving into your sign next month. It's just whatever squeeze that you feel that has to do with travel, relationships, love, even money. Someone not sharing the same belief system as you. Just remember, you want to vibrate at that high frequency. You always want to be the best version of yourself. So Libra, let's get started. Let's see what we can expect. We're gonna do a 3-card spread. So Venus. Okay, Libra, we got a lot to talk about. I'll tell you in your August forecast, but while I'm here, you've got Venus moving into your sign next month, which is amazing. But when we get to October, November, Venus will have moved on into Scorpio, but will retrograde, and will retrograde back into your sign. So, when it comes to partnerships, relationships, there's going to be some changes, okay? A lot of relationships are reconsidered during Venus retrograde. And Saturn retrograde too. Don't forget that. I mean, Saturn retrograde in your 7th house of partnerships, love, marriage, relationships. So it's all about discipline here, right? With Saturn in Aries, Saturn doesn't do well in Aries. So all the hard work that you put into something, especially since February or even last summer, is this what you want? Is this worth the reward? Is this something that makes you feel empowered? And it will likely do with relationships, love, marriage, partnerships. It can be business, it can be a friendship, but Saturn natively rules your 4th house, and so that's home and family, relationship with your mom, your dad, your especially dad with Saturn, father figure, but parental figure, but significant other seems pretty high. But that's now and until December, and it is Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto that are all currently retrograde. You will be going inward. You've got to discover what's real. And with Neptune and Aries, there's an element of there may be a reality check coming pretty soon. Okay, don't ignore it. Use it. All right, and rebuild. Don't restart. Rebuild. Libra. Let's see. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, Libra Nation. Let's see what's going on for you for this week. Yeah. You're also having some conversations around money and career. Big ones, by the way. Oh, yeah, and that's another thing. Mars moves into Cancer next month. Man, you're going to be... What is it? Yeah. You're going to be having conversations around career. Wheels in motion. Then the action comes in August. All right, let's... okay. Hey. You're good. You're fine. You're great. You got the Page of Cups. Wouldn't be surprised if you already had fall in love, made a new relationship, new friendship, a creative partner, whatever it is. It was something that was really, really exciting for you, heartfelt, right? You could have been flooded with emotions. It could have been something that you started. It could have been a message that you received as well. But definitely, because relationships are such a big theme for you right now, could be a new relationship. It could also be a message, a random a relationship that you received, or maybe you got like a text or Tinder DM or something like that. Either way, whatever it was, look at you got, the King of Pentacles. So again, there's something here that really speaks to work and career, where you have a lot of focus and attention, but also you still also are moving in the direction of a lot of fun and pleasure and relationships, dating, love, true love, creative projects. That King of Pentacles. Oh, this is ownership. This is someone who, like, anything he touches, he turns to gold. He is the richest king. So I really love this for you. There's something also, because you have so much energy around home and family, and it just seems like there's it's almost like there's a lot of structure being built around that right now. The King of Pentacles is someone who is very pragmatic. He's very practical. He's a big provider. So again, there may be something there, but like, definitely don't rule out career and money. But the thing is, it feels like some of y'all have taken on new roles, or you will soon. It might be a little too much. Yeah. So just be very mindful of that. I'm not saying that it's, something that you can't handle. It's something that you should recognize if it is too much. Balance things out. That's all. Okay? That Nine of Pentacles, very interesting. You're going to have to be vocal. All right? With that, I'm sorry, the Nine of Wands. Wands, highly associated with career and work and, enterprise, but also your passions, yeah. So it can even be relationships, yeah. Relationships that make you feel this wealth. But that Nine of Wands is really saying, like, don't give up. Don't give up. Hang in there. So again, something might make you feel like you're being pulled in a couple of different directions, or maybe you even feel a little bit abandoned from, your bandmates or whatever creative project that you're working with. But this is saying don't give up, hang in there. You're going to be fine. I'll clarify that for you. Hang in there. You're going to be fine. Everything's about to change for you. And you know it with a death card. You're good. You're absolutely good. Oh, you can't even see the cards, can you? You're absolutely good. You're about to go through some really big change. Anyway, Libra, y'all are amazing. I will see you next week. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you. Hello, Scorpio. Let's jump right in. This is going to be a really big week for you. Yeah, July 29th. We have the full moon in Aquarius conjunct your modern ruler, Pluto, and Juno, opposite the Jupiter Cazimi in Leo. And so I'm looking at this full moon for you. Listen, I don't even know. You're, first of all, going to be highly affected by it. As I mentioned in the intro, all the fixed signs, not only with the full moon, but also the North Node, South Node being in Aquarius-Leo, your fellow fixed signs. So the fact that you have the full moon conjunct your modern ruler, Pluto, it kind of just brings your energy into the full moon. And Aquarius rules your fourth house. So what does this mean? You are definitely going to have some changes at home. Are you preparing for changes at home? They are going to be big. Now, the other thing is, it's very likely you're going to have some things that you need to get off your chest. You may need to release some things. I mean, you have Pluto here. Pluto is really good at playing Sherlock Holmes, right? So that's a lot happening just under this full moon alone. All right. There might be a little bit of intensity that you feel. And remember, it's the full moon's happening on July 29th. You're still going to feel it. You're still going to feel it. Days before, days after. You could also be very protective of what's going on in home. And when I say home, this is home. This is your roots. This is your emotional foundation, your emotional growth. This is your family. It's your children, your parents, your significant other. And so you're putting a lot more emphasis on home. That's why you have this full moon. There's some things that you need to see because the North Node just parked here for a year and a half, where your biggest life lessons and karmic fated opportunities will be within your home sector. Now, you also have the Jupiter Kazidi that's happening in Leo with the South Node in Leo in your 10th house of career. And so, do you see the shift? You're going to be doing a little bit less work, focusing more on home, your home sector, real estate, property matters, your significant other, your relationships. You're having major transformation here. And so things are going to shift because Saturn retrograde, that is in Aries, your 6th house of work. And so just take a deep breath because Saturn is making you go within, right? See retrogrades. And you're going to be processing work, your daily routines, even health. And when I say that, you do all the math. Are you comfortable in your work environment or in work in general? This is your physical health, that 6th house. Are you sitting all day? You can't feel your legs, right? Do you work in an office where they don't got no air conditioning? That you're gonna have to process things, make things work your way. All right. Now you've got Venus square Mars as well. That's happening on the 29th. But again, you're gonna feel it days before, days after. Venus is moving a little bit slow. So Venus is in Virgo. You've got Mars in Gemini. There's got to be some conversations that you're going to have with your significant other. Okay? There's no other way around it. You're going to have these conversations. You might be suspicious of something. There might be something about your future that you have to talk about. Also, because Mars, your ancient ruler, is in Gemini that rules your 8th house. Do you see how much of that energy you're bringing in? And so this is all about building your legacy, building your wealth. This is everything that's happening with Uranus being Aquarius' ruler. This is very future forward when it comes to the home sector, your relationships, intimacy, sex, as well as your transformation and building your wealth. I would not be surprised if there was inheritance involved in any sort of conversation. Okay? Like not seeing eye to eye over inheritance, as well as, maybe the money that you make or maybe your partner's income as well. So take a deep breath. Sparks could fly. Remember, Mercury is the ruler of both Virgo and Gemini. All right. You got Mars and Gemini, Venus and Virgo, the two cosmic lovebirds. So a lot of this can be verbal. You need to speak your truth diplomatically. Let relationship dynamics play out. Trust your intuition. Virgo may be ruled by Mercury, but remember, Virgo rules the gut. You're going to be fine. There might be some friendships involved here as well. All right. So that said, you've got a really, really big mission statement ahead. Yeah. North Node in Aquarius. It's all about your purpose. And it really can do with a lot of, obviously, home, like we said, but your friendships, groups, associations, contributing to the collective. South Node in Leo, you're changing jobs. You've got Saturn in Aries. A lot of this looks like you are starting something of your own. I would not be surprised. And again, this is until 2028. So if you're just like, no, I love my job at Marshall's, well, there may be some changes, okay, within the next 2 years. The other reason why, Scorpio, I'll give you a little preview now. I think that you know, well, maybe you don't, so that's what I'm going to tell you. Venus is going to be moving into your sign. Venus is moving into Libra next month and then moves into your sign. But then Venus goes retrograde in your sign. And gonna go retrograde all the way back to Libra and then move back forward back into your sign. And so if you have planets just 0 to 4 degrees in any of the fixed signs, I'd actually expand that, okay? I'm going to give it a wider orb, 0 to 7 degrees from this point till October, November. You're going to feel a lot of change. So let's get started. Let's see what's going on for you, Scorpio. We covered the North Node. Oh, you got it. Look at that. We covered the North Node, South Node. We covered the full moon, the Jupiter Cazimi. Oh, that's the other thing. Jupiter Cazimi in Leo. Remember, that's a new synodic cycle. That's for a whole year. And your 10th house of career and fame, public recognition, honors, achievements. And I think I told you this in July. Leo already has that energy of fame, of the spotlight. So you've got double that energy. Remember, you got to release the ego. No audience, right? No audience, no applause. Like, you're doing things from your heart, but you're about to become really famous. Okay, so you're good, but a lot of it is going to be changes in career, job, work. Anyway, we're going to do a 3-card spread, and listen, you're so fluent in death and rebirth. It's your home. Pluto is your ruler, part of this full moon. You got Juno here. Relationships, they're at play. So, Scorpio for last week of July. Okay. Yep. And by the way, remember how I said, if you have any planets in your natal chart, 0 to 6, 7 degrees, that does include Chiron and Taurus. 0 degrees. So you see how that the fixed cross there. Anyway, you're good. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You don't Ace of Cups, congratulations. Here's your tears of joy moment. Blessings, healing. Yeah? Water heals. Cups, love, emotions, feelings, intuition, relationship, wonderment, all of that. Wow. Oh my goodness. You're good. Think about the last time something brought you so much joy. This rapturous pleasure brought you to tears. There you go. You're about to have another moment. Okay? And it could be a new relationship. It could be you starting a new job, starting your own business, having a baby, getting married, whatever it is. Whatever it is, you got this. This is amazing. And again, you can think back. Yeah, you can think back of what happened for you. 2008, 2009, last time we had the North Node, South Node on the fixed axis. But also, even 2014, 2015, if you are here for a career or your reputation, last time we had Jupiter in Leo, all right, in your 10th house. Now, wow, you got the 3 of Wands. So the 3 of Wands is a green light. It's saying, go forth. You see what's out there. It's all sky, right? The sky's the limit. You're ready to go. Bon voyage. Go forth into your brand new world, your brand new era. You have a lot to look forward to. You have the Empress. You have a Goddess. By the way, new beginning with the Ace of Cups, right? New journey, new path. 3, creation, the birth of new things, right? Right here. This is all new. Everything. This is a true death and rebirth moment for you. And the Empress is abundance and luxury, wealth. You see the symbol of Venus and the star-shaped heart. Yeah. New relationship. Maybe you are getting married. Whatever it is, you are about to live your life through your pleasures and your passions. And that's the other thing, is like, that's Leo energy. Yeah. She's pregnant. Congratulations. A lot of y'all having babies. Especially, you know, when you have the North Node in Pisces for the past year. Some of y'all got pregnant. And then Leo energy is like children as well. So it could be like your child is having a baby. But either way, you're good. You're good to go here. There's a lot to look forward to. This is like harvest season for you. You can see that clearly. And the hangman that popped out, yeah. There's your big message from the universe. Change your perspective. That's going to make all the difference. Scorpio, y'all are amazing. You're really good. And have that complete surrender for what you no longer need in this brand new era. And I'm learning that too. I'm having to let go of things that I never thought that I would have to. So go at your own pace, but continue to move forward, Scorpio. Thank you. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, Sagittarius. Let's jump right in. Really big deal for you. Obviously, your ruling planet, Jupiter, is having the best time of his life today. But I want to start with the nodes. You've got the North Node moving into your 3rd, South Node moving into your 9th. So a lot of emphasis on your destined path forward and your mission statement, your karmic calling with travel. You're going to be very excited about this. I mean, you roll the 9th house of travel, long distance travel. And so this is really great. It's not only travel, it is also education. It's learning new things, new cultures. It's writing. Also, teaching. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you start teaching or even taking courses. And it doesn't have to be in a traditional sense. It could be like online courses, things like that. Yeah, you might start your own Substack. The biggest thing of all, there's likely something here that has to do with, it's almost like something a little bigger than, like really official, you know? There's something here that's screaming contracts and signing legal matters as well. Something that might have to do with the law as well. Either way, really good time for you to learn new things. Go explore. That's your favorite thing to do. And be curious, okay? That's the key word with what's happening with the North Node in your 3rd house. Now, you will have the full moon, conjunct Pluto, conjunct Juno, and Aquarius, which is your 3rd house. So there's very likely something here that you needed to communicate, or you received a message. There could have been some news that you received around this time. It could have been a little bit heavy with Pluto there. Yeah, and remember, you feel the emphasis of this full moon days before, days after. There also might be something here where you've decided to move forward in some capacity about branding yourself. Maybe you're, kind of like George Michael, The reference I made earlier, like new image, brand new image. And again, travel is very likely. You may be doing something with your, local community. It seems like there's something ramping up there. And remember, it's still the North Node here for until 2028. And so even if you're like right now, like my local community, but I live in Bushwick. I don't even want to be here. Just joking. I love Bushwick. Well, yeah, maybe 5 months down the road, things will change, right? So anyway, you're likely going to sell things too. This full moon is a big moment for you up here, okay? Upstairs. There's almost this new way of thinking that's going to, propel you forward. All right. So keep that in mind. And again, keyword, be curious. Be very, very curious. Now, Venus square Mars on this day as well. As you know, Venus is in Virgo. Mars is in Gemini. You're going to feel this a lot. Okay. Career. Your reputation. Honors, achievements, leadership, but also love, marriage, partnerships, contracts, agreements. So again, something official is happening for you around this time. Venus square Mars. Venus is in Virgo, Mars is in Gemini. Like I said earlier, those are mutable signs. You're a mutable sign. So Venus square Mars is squaring you as well, or with Mars opposite your sign. Yeah. So just keep that in mind. There's gotta be some emphasis here on relationships, especially in career. Just remember, Mercury rules both Gemini and Virgo. It is a little bit of a fuse box. Sparks could fly. And the fact that it's Virgo, Gemini, there's going to be some words exchanged, especially with Pluto and the full moon in your third house of communication. All right. So just be very mindful. And, obviously text, DMs, all of that counts too. You always want to be the best version of yourself. Let relationship dynamics play out. All right. Now, the other thing is we have the Jupiter Kazemi that's happening in Leo, your ninth house. How could you not love this? You're going to love this. It does look like a lot of y'all may be coming back from a trip, a long distance trip. Maybe you're going on a trip. Again, there may be something really official here that you're signing. It looks like there could be a second marriage that's in the works as well. For a lot of y'all, there really may be a lot of y'all going back to college too. Your belief system. There's something here where Jupiter's going to expand your belief system, make you see things in a different way. Remember, the South Node is here. All right. So with the old and with the new. So pay attention to what comes through. South Node is your karmic past. In Leo, remember, ego, lifeboat for one. Right. So there really, really are going to be some really big life lessons for you around this time on your life lessons, if that makes any sense. With that ninth house, just the house of wisdom and absorbing all this knowledge. So when you have Saturn and Aries in your fifth, that rules your second as well. I also see a lot of creative work, creative energy, a lot of family energy, a lot of family, children, sex, procreation. Remember, a lot of you are having kids. Congratulations. And then also, it just seems like there's something entrepreneurial that's waiting for you. With Saturn retrograde, take advantage of this. Yeah. Saturn retrograde in Aries. That is your fifth house. And, that's discipline. It's hard work. But ask yourself, like, what have you worked on since February? You put a lot of effort in. You put a lot of, energy into, where now Are you happy with what you've created? Are you monetizing? Is there something here that's worth a reward to continue? If not, what needs to be tweaked? What do you need to do to make yourself feel empowered? Because it's not just Saturn. You got Neptune, you got Pluto, both of them, they're retrograde too. So you're really turning your power inward to discover what's real. You know? A lot of this will have to do with romance too. Romance, true love, but that creative energy is just really, really, really strong. It could also be a very creative way of how you see the world, but also how you spread your wisdom and your knowledge in such an interesting, fascinating, creative way to others that brings you that light, that sun conjunct Jupiter light. So don't ignore this. This is big. Saturn retrograde in your fifth, because it does have an impact on your sense of self-worth and self-value. Okay? So let's see what's going on for you, Sagittarius. We're going to do a 3-card spread. I bit my tongue all the way in the back. It's why anyway. Sagittarius, let me just see something else real quick. You have also got a lot of y'all really, you're really focused on your future. Some of y'all are going to be working on books or getting a publishing deal too. You have Jupiter in Leo, Pluto in Aquarius, North Node in Aquarius, South Node, all of that on your 9th, 3rd. Okay, so it's like writing and publishing. Work on a book. All right, let's. You're fine. Just don't even. You're fine. Yeah, you got the Knight of Cups. There's that creative energy I was talking about. You even see the wings of imagination on his helmet, his shoes. It's a lot of creative energy. The Knight of Cups. He's also the knight in shining armor. So, but this is just you moving towards something that's going to emotionally fulfill you. And so, hey, this is really great. Don't forget that the moon conjunct Pluto, conjunct Juno, is still trine Uranus, okay? And Gemini, which rules your 7th house of partnerships and relationships, all right? So there could be some breakthroughs here that you're experiencing as well. Either way, this is amazing because you're looking to be stimulated, you're looking to work on creative projects, you're looking to even share your journey with someone else. Now, the Magician, there's a brand new journey, brand new era. The Magician, hand to the sky, hand to the ground, as above, so below. You create your reality right here, right now. This is amazing. The Magician, he has all the tools that he needs, all elements of tarot right here. Pentacles, Cups, Swords, Wands. So, the fact that the Magician is a card of action, go forth, take action. Remember, take inspired action. This is the first card in the Fool's Journey. You are, when I say this full moon, true death and rebirth moment. Oh yeah. And the Magician is attributed to the planet Mercury. You've got Mercury in Cancer in your 8th house of death and rebirth, regeneration, but also the full moon conjunct Pluto in your 3rd house, Mercury's home. All right. Communicate, connect. You have the Hangman. What did I say earlier? You're about to change the way that you see things. You're also going to inspire others by the way that when you change the way that you see things, your worldview, your philosophies, even in a creative way, you change others' views. And it can be through art, it can be through family, whatever it is. you're good. You're really good. Just remember, this is complete surrender. The Hangman. Yeah. Card 12. He is looking forward to the transformation. What comes after the Hangman? The Death card. So, you're good. And once you make that adjustment and seeing something in a different way, even remember curiosity for you, keyword here. Yeah, that's what changes everything. Sagittarius, y'all are amazing. I will see you soon. All right, bye-bye. Hello, Capricorn. Let's jump right in. This is a really big full moon for you. It's obviously conjunct Pluto, conjunct Juno. It's in Aquarius, your second house. Money. This is all about money. And you throw in the fact that the North Node is in Aquarius officially until March 2028. Same thing with the South Node in Leo. That's your 8th house of other people's money, shared resources. So this is going to be very interesting. Your big life lessons, your karmic direction, path, your karmic journey, your mission statement. A lot of it has to do with not only money and wealth and maybe your partner's money or investments and investors, but also your sense of self-worth, self-value, not undervaluing yourself, but also like you have the South Node, Jupiter, and the Sun in your 8th house of death and rebirth. That is also the 8th house, the house of transformation. So you're going to see pretty big changes. All right. Now, there's a lot. Oh, listen, we have a whole year and a half to talk about the South Node, North Node for you. So this full moon, conjunct Pluto, there's something here with money. Okay. The second house is where your earning potential, your salary, income, finances, is material possessions. And again, like I said, self-worth, self-value. So remember, something's being illuminated here. Full moons also bring endings. So there may be something ending. There may be something here that has to do with your career, your job, tied to your salary or tied to your sense of self-worth or your values and the things that you value. It could be with Pluto here. Pluto's going to make things a little bit louder than a little bit loud because you've got Saturn involved. It's a Saturn ruled full moon. Saturn's your ruler. So this is going to be very deeply personal to you. Again, especially because it is your second house. So there is this idea for you on self-reliance. There's this idea behind like, am I getting paid what I'm worth? A lot of this could be like, with Pluto being so psychological, right? There could be a lot that you're processing in terms of what are the next steps. But there really is got to be some, let's just say emphasis on money, but also just like your entire structure, right? Even your foundations, because Saturn is retrograde as well. So your ruler, Saturn retrograde in Aries, that is your 4th house. Your, foundations, your home, your family, your roots, your significant other, parents, grandparents, children, all of that, right? Real estate matters as well. This is going to be deeply emotional time for you. You might be processing a lot. Don't be hard on yourself, okay? That's Saturn. Remember, he's retrograde. You got to internalize a lot of this. And Saturn's all about discipline, right? So the other thing that's happening, so this full moon, just let things come to light and see what comes up. Some things might be secret. Some things might be you needing to be honest with yourself about some things. And then you've got the Jupiter, Kazimi, and Leo. Wow. You've got that in your 8th house of shared resources. All right. So, yes, transformation, but the 8th house goes really, really deep because it is Pluto's home. So, you see, you have that overlap there with that intensity of Pluto and the 8th house. 8th house is also, your evolution through your relationships. 8th house is intimacy. There's some activity here, right? Because remember, it's still Leo energy. Now, Leo energy is romantic, it's fun, it's sexy. And, Leo rules children, so it's also like procreation, which sex, right? So 8th house, 5th house, you have a lot of energy here. The other thing is, there's likely something here with Jupiter Kazemi. Remember, it's a seed being planted, a new synodic cycle for a year. So there may be something here where you're, a little bit more interested in the metaphysical, Kundalini, tarot, even divination. The 8th house, it really, at the end of the day, is a mystery house too, kind of like the 12th. And, with that said, your 12th is activated because Jupiter natively rules your 12th and your 3rd. So, anyway, just know that there's a huge transformation in store for you for the next year. But from this point forward, money. There's like so much money stuff. And again, this would be more, inheritance, investments, passive income. It's also your partner's money. Very likely your partner could get a huge raise or a bonus or a big winning. It honestly, you're gonna be having a lot of focus on finances. Now, Venus is going to be in Virgo and square Mars and Gemini. This is fun. It just looks like if anything for you, there might be, not seeing eye to eye with, a colleague and a employee, contractor. There could be something with a contract, actually, with Venus and Virgo. Venus is love and money. So it could be like your commitments. It could be love, marriage, someone you're dating. It could be even, even like money related matters, right? So it is your 9th house. There's something official. There's something really legal. 9th house is legal matters. Connecting, as in not seeing eye to eye with Mars and Gemini, you're 6th. So work, the work environment, the workplace. There is something here. The other thing is there might be some clash of belief system with someone, part of your daily routines, work, but also health. It could be a doctor, it could be a nurse, it could be a vet, it could be, dentist, So just keep that in mind. And then Saturn retrograde. This is a big moment for you. Saturn is your ruler. And so Saturn happens to be in its fall in Aries. And so it's Saturn all about discipline, hard work. Anything that you put energy, time into since February, when it comes to home or family, or your own emotional growth, emotional roots, it's a good time to ask yourself, is it worth the reward? Is it worth the work? Does anything need to be tweaked? Does it make me feel empowered? Because it's not just Saturn, and it's not just Saturn being your ruler. It's Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto all retrograde, okay? So you really are turning your power inward to discover what's real. Does this have legs? Neptune's here. You're going to have a huge reality check soon. So don't ignore any signals. Pay attention to your intuition, okay? So let's see what's got for you. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. honestly, there is going to be some changes with work. There's going to be some changes with work. And relationships. Don't forget, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Leo next month, just 2 weeks from now, in your 8th house. So, money, investments, your relationship with investors, even, but also your partner. 8th house is intimacy, like I explained. So, more to come. All right, let's, yeah, you're fine. You're good. Don't worry. You're fine. You're good. Yeah, the Fool. Good for you. Yeah. Take that leap. You're ready. You're ready. You're like, get me off this boat. You're ready. Okay. You're moving forward. The Fool. Taking risks, taking chances, having full confidence in the universe and himself, knowing everything's going to work out. Not hoping, but knowing. Okay. And so I love this. There's a lot of abundance here, a lot of innocence as well with the Fool. You're ready to go. I love this. You're beginning some new journey. And I'm not surprised when you've got the South Node in Leo in your 8th house of death and rebirth. You can't have that rebirth part until you have that death part. So with this full moon, again, there's something that you're ending, right? And then, wow, Emperor, okay? Listen, you've got Saturn and Aries in your 4th. So a lot of y'all are becoming parents or role models or bosses, authority figures. You're really feeling that power. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility, but this is someone who's grown into his power, has made him wiser. This is someone who, has a lot of passion for what he does. It's the reason why he's sitting in that throne, all right? He controls his destiny. He's also the ruler of the land. People look up to this person, this emperor, yeah? So there is this sense of you taking on a parental role or a new way of being a parent, but they're also again, it can be a boss, authority. Remember how I said in the intro, you're the author of your story. Well, there it is. There's your proof. 6 of Swords. Amazing. This is all about moving forward up here. All right. Not getting stuck. This is you seeing things in new ways, having new perspective, but also, feeling comfort in the fact that, sure, maybe there were moments that were uneasy, but you're not going to let that hold you back. You're not going to let that define you. Wherever you are now, you're like, I'm moving forward. You're like, I'm not going to get stuck in the past. You're good. And there's a lot of comfort here, a lot of protection. And it's almost like this rite of passage, to be honest. Look at what's happening here. The Fool, the Emperor, and the 6 of Swords. Yeah. You're really becoming a new you, Capricorn. Be very proud of yourself. Y'all are amazing. I'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello, Team Aquarius. Let's jump right in. Obviously, this full moon is all about you. And like I said in the intro, as an Aquarius, I am feeling exactly what you're feeling. It's why I had to say what I had to say. This is a pivotal moment for you. It's a really a pivotal moment because it's not just the full moon conjunct Pluto in your sign. That's also conjunct Juno, by the way, but it's also the North Node that just moved into your sign. This is, if there's anyone that's going through the biggest reset of all, it's you. The cradle reset had Pluto in your sign. Connecting with 3 planets. This is a big time for you. Your life is significantly changing. You're going through this major rebirth, this major death and rebirth. Your identity is changing. Everything's changing. And this full moon, obviously, the most intense for you. Okay? So, this full moon conjunct Pluto, everything is changing. You're asking a lot of questions. And at this point, you may not have found the answers. Let the full moon illuminate. Okay? Have your moment. Go outside. Speak to the moon. This ether that's putting words out there. Everything's energy. Remember that. Now, the other thing is that it's just like, are you worried? I want you to ask yourself, when was the last time worrying and stressing about something did anything good for you at all? And the reason I say that is because, yeah, we still have Mercury in Cancer. That is your 6th house. You know? That Virgo energy. Okay? And then we do have Venus and Virgo, which we'll talk about. But again, this full moon, just let things illuminate. Okay? Have that moment of clarity, of awareness. There's going to be things you have to be honest with yourself with. Again, the fact that I was powering through your readings, your forecasts for over 8 months, like, well, I was so burnt out taking care of Ruby and everything. It's just like, I just couldn't do it anymore. That's why I have to just scale back. I was ignoring all the signs, every single sign, that literally, like, going to the ER, getting this procedure from, anyway, like, it's just like, it just happened. It just happened this past few days where I was like, I can't do this anymore. It's literally killing me. So, have your moment. Have your moment. Now, with the North Node moving into our sign, again, you can't define yourself through others, okay? That's the South Node, okay? And Leo, our 7th house. Partnerships, relationships, love, marriage, contracts, commitments. You are meant to have a radical change. Have it. Have it. It's process, right? A year and a half. But there's so much to talk about. But we have tons of time, right? It's got to be here, North Node in our sign, for about a year and a half. And right now, if you have any planets 29 to 27 degrees, like I said, in Aquarius, you're really going to feel it. But also any of the fixed signs, yeah? So, you've got to let anything come to the surface, especially if you're holding anything in. And then the South Node in Leo, again, the way that you view relationships, a lot of that will have to change. A lot of it, and not in a bad way, it's just like almost like the shift in perspective. Some of y'all will definitely be changing relationships with that South Node there. Relationships that may have reached an expiration date. And it, it can be love, it can be marriage, it can be business, it can be a colleague, a personal relationship, it can be a friendship, creative partner on a creative project. So just know that you are going through a really big reset because you do all that math. Pluto natively ruling your 10th house, that brings in a lot of career energy. So a lot of y'all are questioning your careers. Have your moment. It's okay, right? But then, on top of that, Saturn, your ancient ruler, has gone retrograde. And Aries in your 3rd house. 3rd house, the mind. And so, 3rd house is also communication. It's your siblings, relatives. It's short distance travel. Saturn kind of makes things a little bit hard in that area. But retrograde kind of takes a step back so you can go within. Anything that you put any energy or effort in whether it was communication, writing, PR, advertising, marketing, anything online, anything like you were selling, anything that you're curious about, well, now's a good time to ask yourself, is this worth it? Is it worth a reward? Or does something need to be tweaked? Does this make me feel empowered? Because it's not just Saturn, it's Neptune, and it's Pluto, all retrograde. And as you know, Pluto's in your sign. So all that power, you're turning inward. And this is a time for you to discover what is real. What does my future look like? What do I want it to be? What's fantasy? So good time to reevaluate. You definitely will be having a reality check very soon. Okay? Don't ignore any signs. Use this moment to rebuild, not restart, rebuild. And then on top of that, you've got Venus square Mars. Okay? Venus in Virgo in your 8th, Mars in Gemini in your 5th. Well, Venus and Virgo in your 8th, transformation, death and rebirth. And so, again, love, money, creative projects. There's some transformation here. There's some changes happening here. Your relationships, your most intimate relationships, yeah, you're going to be having some conversations. It's Venus square Mars in your 5th house of true love and romance. These are the 2 sex houses, too, by the way. FYI. So, it might be something here, but also it could be something creative. The other thing is, I wouldn't be surprised if you have conversations about investments with your partner. If you have a partner, it could be a business partner, investor, inheritance, investments, royalties, commissions, shared bank accounts. And lastly, with Jupiter conjunct the sun, the Jupiter, I bit my tongue, by the way, so I can't talk. It like hurts to talk. It's like scraping my teeth. So that's why I have this gum. When you have the Jupiter Cazimi and Leo in your 7th house of relationships, partnerships, well, there you go. Luck, blessings, abundance. When it comes to love, romance, marriage, business partner, you can find a dream business partner around this time. Remember, this is a new synodic cycle. This is a year long. So even like what I said earlier, I feel like you're just going to have this huge moment of clarity. Was it Friday? Yeah, on July 31st. When the moon conjuncts the North Node in Aquarius for the first time since 2009. Anyway, let's see. Let's see what we got for you, Aquarius. Sun, moon, and rising. And don't forget, obviously we'll talk about it next month, but next month we have that new moon solar eclipse in Leo. The 7th house, relationships, partnership, contracts, union, love, marriage. Congratulations. I gotta get married. All right, let's, yeah. You're good. 8 of Swords. I called it. What are you still worried about? What are you still worried about? Stop stressing. Don't worry. It's Mercury in Cancer. Remember, Mercury was retrograde in Cancer in our 6th house of daily routines, but also work. A lot of miscommunication. 6th house is also health. There could have been some, health issues like I've been having, but also mental health. With Mercury. So, yeah. Relationships, creative projects that you're working on. Why invite the stress? Remember, this full moon in your sign, you are meant to see the things you're meant to see. You're meant to face your realities and face your truths. Get comfortable to the point where you're okay taking off that blindfold. All right? That's what's going to set you free with the Eight of Cups here. Big pivotal moment. This is your moment. This is your hero walking away from a explosion wearing sunglasses moment. That eclipse says it all. Game-changing moment where you leave something that you need to leave. You change something that you need to change. And that's what's going to change your life when you have that confidence to do so, even if it's the hardest thing in the world. And that brings you the clarity that you need. You become wiser. You lead with your heart. You make all the decisions. You see the sword pointed straight to the sky. Yeah. This is true to perception. It's connecting with the divine. Like you're gonna be fine. But the true story here, and you can't make this up, by the way. It's so crazy. First of all, you got 2 8s. 8 is, like prosperity. But anyway, I'm going to show you something here. You see the Queen of Swords? You see the tassel on her wrist? She has a really big backstory. Okay? Guess who she was? This is empowerment. This is what happens when you break free. Okay? This is a card. We call it the card of self-sabotage. So take off the blindfold. Face the things you have to face. Move forward from what you need to move forward from. And look what happens. You're going to be fine. You're going to be good. I love this. And you're likely going to assign something to, with Jupiter conjunct the sun in your 7th. That's a really big sign. Venus will move into Libra in August as well. Okay. So that obviously has everything to do with partnerships and relationships. And, Venus will trine Pluto in your sign kind of like the first week of August. I have to double check the date. But the 9th house is the law. It's like legal matters as well. There's something you might be signing. All right. Aquarius, thanks so much. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Hello, Pisces. Let's jump right in. This is going to be a wild time for you. As you know, the North Node has moved into Pluto. Sorry, what? North Node has moved into Aquarius. South Node in Leo. That's your 12th and your 6th. So what's really interesting about this is that you just came out of the North Node being in your sign since February 2025. You spent 18 months this huge spiritual chapter that just closed. But what's really interesting is that you and Virgo represent, y'all are the health axis, right? Spiritual health, spiritual wealth, physical health, all of that. And you're kind of like right there again because Aquarius rules your 12th house. That's your home. And also the South Node in Leo, in your 6th house. So even though that a lot of your focus was on relationships and partnerships and how you see yourself in relationships, and a lot of them may have, adjusted. You've gone through a lot of different phases in relationships, and many may have ended. It was the health of your relationships. Now, you have the North Node in Aquarius. Again, your 12th house. The 12th house is spirituality. It is the subconscious. It's everything beyond the physical plane. This is you, right? dreams, imagination, creativity as well. So I do like this for you. You are, out of, all the signs, you're up there in terms of this transcendence, this spiritual transcendence. And it is this really long spiritual journey until 2028 through the lens of Aquarius. So it really is all about the collective, connecting with people, especially people in your life, your friends, your groups, your associations, but also your future hopes and long-term goals and dreams. Now, with the South Node in Leo, that is your daily routines, your sixth house. So everything is about to change, and your, karmic lessons, right? What you're releasing is still things that where you might be hard on yourself, things that just don't feel like the right match anymore when it comes to work. Sixth house is also health. So getting those checkups, making sure that there's just no stone unturned. The sixth house is also the digestive system. So you could be, going on new diets, changing up your diet as well. All right. So the full moon conjunct Pluto in Aquarius in your 12th. This is a huge awakening. It's very spiritual for you. And psychological with Pluto there. Okay. Because Pluto is very, forensic, right? Digs deep. Pluto natively rules your 9th house, which is very spiritual. So you're going deep. You're going very deep. You're doing the healing. You're doing the rest and retreat. Hidden Matters is the 12th house. So listen, the fact that everything I said in the intro about honesty, being honest with yourself, facing your truths, secrets emerging, things like that, is so spot on for you. So I wouldn't be surprised if you had moments where it's not only you taking time out to explore your spiritual side, even just like the baseline of what's meaningful to me. How do I get it? Do I have it? Do I enjoy it? Like questions like that. But a lot of it's going to have to do with that healing aspect, right? The health axis. Anyway, so Pluto in Aquarius, North Node in Aquarius, is all this radical change that you're going to be going through on a spiritual level. Now, the Cazimi, Jupiter conjunct the Sun in Leo in your 6th house. Remember, that's a seed being planted for a year, okay? It's a new synodic cycle. It looks like there may be something new coming into your life when it comes to your daily routines. There may be some adjustments, you making those adjustments. But again, it is your ruler, Jupiter, right? So you're really, this is really going to hit home for you. Jupiter natively rules your 10th house as well. So when you do the math, you got the 10th house of career, 6th house of work, blessed. It looks like a lot of y'all are getting new jobs. It looks like you're exploring new career paths. Remember, Jupiter's all about blessings, all right? Expansion as well, wisdom. So when I see what's happening for you, when you've got the South Node here, it's like it's almost like some of you will feel like where you're at now, especially when it comes to work and the workplace, colleagues, employees, things like that. You reach this, expiration date, this point of fatigue, and you're ready to move forward with something else. And it could also be just like, even like a promotion or 6 houses. It would be like if you were like a freelancer, contractor, things like that. You could see a lot of assignments coming in. And then you do have Venus and Virgo square Mars and Gemini. So for you, this is particularly strong within relationships, love, marriage, especially in the home sector. Okay, so significant other. It could also be like, personal relationships. It could also be like maybe your relationship with your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your granddaughter, things like that. But remember, these planets are not seeing eye to eye. There might be something here in terms of money involved. There could be not seeing eye to eye around money, talks about budget. They're just even like not seeing the same way creatively with someone if it's not home related, which it could still be creatively, or unrelated creatively. But yeah, I think that listen, don't be hard on yourself. It's Venus square Mars, and remember, the two signs ruled by Mercury. So this is a little bit of it's Mars, right? So a little bit of a fuse box. Sparks could fly. But two signs ruled by Mercury. Remember, there's likely going to be some words exchanged. And remember, words are energy. Yeah. And it also includes texts and DMs. So remember, don't let these aspects use you. Use these aspects. Let your relationship dynamics play out. Trust your intuition. I mean, Virgo may be ruled by Mercury, but Virgo rules the gut. Yeah. So, and then you've got Saturn in its fall in Aries. So, when you do the math, what I said earlier about career, work, there may be some adjustments or changes. Well, Saturn in Aries is your second house. And that's money, income, it's earning potential, it's your salary, it's finances, but it's also self-worth, self-value. Saturn is, putting a little bit of weight there. Saturn's pretty relevant this week with the fact that, we have a Saturn-ruled full moon. Anyway, Saturn is kind of looping in your 11th house, so there might be something here when it comes to money, self-worth, self-value, in group settings or with your friends as well, or something that has to do with your future hopes and wishes and long-term goals and dreams. So anything that you started back in your birthday season, February, ask yourself now, all the effort I put into this, is it worth the reward? Or does something need to be tweaked? Does this make me feel empowered? Does this make me feel like an authority? Because it's not just Saturn. It's Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto retrograde. So you're really going inward, turning all your powers inward. And you're really going to have some reality checks very soon with Neptune retrograde. And Neptune's going to have some major aspects in August. So don't ignore any signs. Use this. Saturn retrograde is there for you to rebuild, okay? Don't restart, rebuild. With anything, for a lot of y'all, it's going to be career and work related, money related. But again, for some of y'all, it will be friendships, your future goals. Either way, Saturn is kind of taking a step back, so you can take some time to reevaluate things. All right, so really big week. I know I've lost my voice. I also bit the back of my tongue. It's like scraping against my teeth. But we got this, Pisces. Let's see what we can expect. I'm just going to do a 3-card spread. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay. Pisces, you know what else is happening, right? Do you? I told you. August 28th, you might want to mark it in your books. Yeah. So the 26th, August 26th, 27th, 20th, one of those days, we have the lunar eclipse in your sign. So now would be a good time to prepare to let some things go in the old world. Okay. All right, well, you're good. And you know what's really funny? It's like the card this week. There's always a card that appears in everybody's signs or everybody's spreads. This week it's been the Fool. Good for you. Go start your new journey. Go take those risks. Long hair don't care, right? You got the full abundance of the sun. Yeah. And remember, you're moving into your new era. Old world's gone. Same thing here. Card 0. What comes before 0? Nothing, right? Means this is everything. You see his little satchel, by the way. He's only bringing the essentials. So, on your Fool's journey, the Fool, take those risks. And there's so much optimism in this card. There's so much opportunity in this card. So don't look back, okay? Just continue to move forward because you did get that 7 of Pentacles. And it's saying that a lot of y'all have taken risks. Maybe you've, and it could be in any capacity in your life, right? Especially, with this full moon that's illuminating in your 12th house, which is, nebulous. There's nothing like tangible there. So a lot of this is without 7 of Pentacles coming up, right? There is a little bit of everything that I said earlier. Are you in a situation, a job or a career or making money, whatever it is, relationship, where you feel like there's a little bit of fatigue now? It's for you to decide what to do next. What are your next steps? Because you can't just get stuck like that. All right? With the 7 of Pentacles. But you keep moving forward. You make those decisions. You feel empowered. You got a lot waiting for you with the Empress. In your future, the Empress, abundance, luxury, sensuality, sexuality, the birth of new things, creation, that's the Empress. And abundance truly is the key word here. You're good. You're really, really good. I'm very excited for you. Move into your abundance. This is transcendence. Spend time in nature too. But that Empress, you're fine. It's just the 7 of Pentacles. It just feels like there could be something that it almost feels like a booby trap. It almost feels like you may feel stuck in some area. Unstick yourself, right? How do you do that? You got to go within. The Saturn, Neptune, Pluto retrograde. And this full moon that illuminates with Pluto. Pisces, y'all are amazing. I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.